Talk about Newcastle a little bit with you, Craig, and the fact that there is somewhat of a French revolution going on there at the moment. And I just wanted to pick on Steve Malbronc's comments that's come out and said that there is a danger of the dressing room being taken over by French players. What's your reaction to those comments made?
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, you have the good players, but you know, are we talking about we're not talking about the French players that were in disgrace at the World Cup. We know they can be a little bit on the touchy side, shall we say. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not in that dressing room. I can't answer that particular question. It'll be interesting to see how it all pans out for them. I don't want to upset the French any more than I have when I think I upset Frank Leboeuf a couple of months ago, and I don't want French people tweeting in giving me stick as well, but then again they probably are anyway. Well,
probably, Craig. Just add them to the long list of people that, you know, like to give you stick. Shaka, obviously you follow Newcastle closely. What do you make of these comments that there could be this clique within the French contingent in the dressing room?
There will be, and that you aren't able to escape that when you have that many people from one country or speaking a different language from everybody else, as the French quite obviously are. It's not an issue if Newcastle are winning games. It becomes a very big issue, probably more so if they start losing games, and then you see these cliques starting to develop, starting to divide, and then you wonder how can you get that dressing room back together again. I think that's a big test for
Isn't that up to the gaffer? Isn't that up to
Absolutely.
Pardew? That is Pardew's job, and if he doesn't think that he could keep them together, why would he be bringing them in? You mean somebody's forcing him to bring them in?
Nobody's
or
forcing
his
no,
choice?
I mean, you look at Newcastle's position they're in, you understand that he has to start getting results and he doesn't have a whole lot of money to do it. I mean, the one good factor in Pardew's favour, and this is a little known fact that Tommy was telling me before the show started, Pep Guardiola isn't available to take over from Pardew.
Oh my God. Now, you speak about Alan Pardew. Let's take a look at his transfer policy since he's arrived at Newcastle. You can see that he's brought in 7 Frenchmen, and there's, of course, still a week to go in the January transfer window. Now, the interesting stat I wanted to bring up is that there's only been 1 Englishman. Why do we bring that up? Well, let's go back to 2006. And quotes that he made, he was criticising Arsenal and the amount of foreigners they had in their side, and he's come out and said, speaking about his West Ham side at the time, the soul of this team will remain with at least 3 or 4 English players as long as I'm at West Ham. I think that's important. I really do. So this is somewhat hypocritical, isn't it, from Alan Pardew, who criticised Wenger in the past, when you take a look at the signings that he's made, and only 1 of them has been English.
Well, I'm not sure why you're looking at me, Dan. I'm not English myself. I am a Pardew signing, or was a Pardew signing. I used to play for Newcastle, albeit not under Alan Pardew.
I do like this music.
But again, it's hard to criticise Pardew at this point, as I say, and if results don't turn around, then I think the criticisms will be all the more loud.
I think it's just reality. Reality has set in that English players cost so much money. There was absolutely no way he could buy them. The French players were available for a fee that he could afford, and that's what it simply came down to. It came down to do-re-mi.
Do-re-mi?
Yeah.
OK, good stuff. Craig, just one final point on you. From what you've seen of Newcastle this season, are they going to survive?
I think they should, absolutely. I don't see any reason why not. I know they've got horrendous injury problems, but they've got enough players that are better than some of the teams around, so I don't see any reason why not. But, you know, I've said many times in this programme, if you're surprised that managers are hypocritical, then you're kidding yourself on, because they are. You know, to a man, most of them are. At the end of the day, they say one thing and do another. You know, they criticise the media, but when they're out at work, they can't wait to get the backside in front of a camera and take the coin from the media companies. Then they're back in to management, and they won't talk to the media. They won't embrace it. So they are hypocrites, and if they say they're not, then they're kidding you on. And if he said that in an article, which he did, I think in 206, I read a bit of it today, then he can't argue that he's not been a hypocrite, and it's easy for me to say, on that particular subject.